Okay, have you ever thought about ending your life? Do you believe that each and every person was put on this earth to fulfill a specific purpose? Well, what would you do if you had the opportunity to choose when your life would end, based solely on the fact that you did not want to go on due to your current condition? Over the past few weeks, I've been conducting research on the topic of physician-assisted suicide and have found many reputable sources which have addressed the topic. In this speech, I will explain what the Massachusetts Death with Dignity Bill means and the conditions under which a patient can opt to end their life through physician-assisted suicide, as well as why the bill is immoral. So first, I'll discuss the history of euthanasia, second, the bill itself, and lastly, the reasons why it is immoral. According to The Atlantic on December 1st, 2011, there are currently 3 states in America that have legalized the act of physician-assisted suicide: Washington, Oregon, and Montana, as well as several countries including Luxembourg, Belgium, the Netherlands, Albania, Colombia, and Switzerland. Currently, Switzerland is the only country that allows people that are not Swiss citizens to receive the procedure. The fight to legalize this procedure has been going on in America since 1906 and has been addressed by many countries ever since. Let's see. Although it is only legal in 3 states, there are 11 other states have no laws that explicitly forbid the act of administering lethal medication to terminally ill patients. The topic of euthanasia became very popular to the American society during the 1990s when Dr. Kevorkian became famous for his attempts to stand up for the rights of patients who wish to receive euthanasia. Kevorkian helped almost 130 terminally ill people end their lives and was placed in prison many times in order to stand up for his beliefs. Now I'll talk to you about the Massachusetts Death with Dignity Act. The Atlantic on February 7, 2012 explained that there is proposed legislation that will appear on the November 2012 ballot, which aims to legalize physician-assisted suicide. This bill will allow an adult who has been diagnosed with 6 or less months to live to choose whether or not they would like to terminate their life. This diagnosis must come from at least 2 doctors who agree that the patient is terminally ill. And in order to be cleared for the procedure, the patient must submit the request in writing and then verbally 2 times. And the patient must also be instructed through considering other alternatives, such as hospice care. Hospice is an alternative that allows patients to die peacefully in a natural and family-oriented environment as opposed to a stark hospital room. The last stipulation of the legislation is that an actual doctor must not administer the medication to the patient in order to avoid lawsuits against the doctors. Alright, so last we're going to talk about why this act is immoral. According to the Boston Herald on February 11, 2012, the Catholic Church is one group of people that believes this legislation undermines the human dignity of all people and should not be legalized due to the lack of respect for human rights and the values of every person's life. ProandCon.org on March 1, 2012 also discussed the immorality of this law and stated that the Roman Catholic bishops of Massachusetts have expressed their opinions on this matter and believe that the Death with Dignity Act would effectively authorize the killing of human beings prior to their natural death. And as a compassionate society, we should work to prevent suicide, which is always a terrible tragedy, no matter what form it may take. So to review, you now have a better understanding of the current Massachusetts bill on physician-assisted suicide and why it is immoral. I'd like to leave you with one closing thought. What if you decide when your own life will end? How can you be certain that you have fulfilled your purpose on earth?